This is an authentic look at the real, extraordinary people defining our north of normal metro. Discover the characters in the city of frost and fire. I'm Conrad Fargo, and this is the Fargo Five. We're here with Nate Wright, who's from Below Zero Wrestling. Hello, Nate.
How you doing, Conrad?
I'm doing fantastic. Let me grab that there. So, you were born in Kansas.
Born in Kansas, Medicine Lodge.
You're not in Kansas anymore.
Extremely not.
Does anybody? You ever heard that one before?
This is the first one today.
Yeah. But you moved quickly to Morehead, where you're born and raised. So you're a Spud?
Yes.
Class of 04 right here.
2002.
2002. Okay. So we were in the same building at the same time.
We were. Wasn't it great?
They just tore that place down.
And now it's torn down.
Did you go see it again before they tore it down?
I saw it as it was getting torn down.
Okay. But you haven't been inside of it.
That's where I had geometry.
That mural. Who was your geometry? Was it Lawlem? Yeah. Well, I really wanted to share this show with him. I tried to reach out, couldn't get a hold of him somehow, because it's the Fargo Five, and he always five with the Euclid.
Oh my goodness!
Right?
I still have that blue sheet somewhere.
The blue sheet.
He made the pocket size little blue sheet of all the 5 rules.
I remember that. He did everything 5s, and then on every Wednesday it was Hornbacher's cookie.
Oh,
remember that? Was it Wednesday or Thursday? Yeah, he would always get. No, he had to have been doing that forever. You don't remember him giving you cookies?
At some point, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It was not as ingrained as just 5.
If anybody can find Lawlem, show him this clip.
He's probably
show him this show.
Water skiing at a lake somewhere. Jacques Laloum.
Yeah, he great guy, great educator. So you graduated 2002. You went to Nebraska, you said? You were working in the mines?
Nevada.
Okay.
Very different mines compared to Nebraska and Nevada. No, I went to Morehead State, go Dragons. To go get a degree. It eventually turned into geology. And after working a little bit in the oil fields, I was like, I am not using my brain enough.
Yeah.
Oil isn't the toughest job. So my buddy was already out in Elko, Nevada. Shout out to Elko. I'm sure they have a mascot. I can't remember it. And yeah, just working in gold mines. I literally went inside of a mountain like every day and looked at rocks.
And so, did you find the gold, or how did you?
So
what's that like? Like you're going in. You and a canary walk in together.
Me and the canary, my canary Pete, making sure it stayed alive. There was a lot of gold, but it was so microscopic.
Yeah.
Like the way I try to teach people is look at something across the wall. If there's a tiny period on like a poster or something. That was the biggest piece of gold I saw.
But that's what they're grabbing and mining at this point?
Yes.
So it's not like big nuggets.
No. Completely different deposit. If you want to get into it. Epithermal deposit. So it's basically hydrothermal fluids come up from the earth. They dissolve away some of the rock and leave behind just trace amounts of gold. But like tiny, tiny pieces. But if there's enough of them and you take all that out, you smash it up, you burn it, you smelt it, you can get a lot of gold out of there.
Okay.
And it's also dependent on the gold price, which is still crazy high right now.
Yeah. Well, okay.
And
there's a lot of dollars out there, which makes the price of everything higher. So
absolutely. I used to understand some basic economics and the price of gold, and now I am a child lost in numbers. So for my day job, I am a realtor at Berkshire Hathaway, and monetary policy is probably the distinguishing thing that I understand it better than anyone. So houses are
kind of tripped a thing on me there
when it comes to economy.
Economics is kind of my fetish there. So anyway, you came back to Fargo.
Yes.
And what is it that you're doing now to make ends meet?
Right now, I work at Bernie's Wines and Liquors on University. Also started doing some sampling. Like, do you ever go to a liquor store and somebody's like, hey, you should try this sample of alcohol?
Yeah.
I'm starting to do that freelance.
Yeah.
So, I'm basically a gun for hire. If you want your product sold, I am very skilled at that. And I will sell your product.
It sounds like you're kind of all over the place. You're doing a lot of different things.
Right
really
now,
experiencing a lot of life and trying a lot of different things. The thing that you're famous for, I would say, and why we have you on the show today, is for Below Zero Wrestling.
Absolutely.
Tell me, I want the very start. Like, how did that? Were you an announcer? Because you're the ring announcer, right? You're the guy. You're the MC. You're
I
the
am
mic.
the ring announcer guy. I am the guy that is informing the crowd about what the heck is going on.
Yeah.
What to expect.
Yeah.
Getting them hyped up.
And so before that, were you a ring announcer for a different wrestling organization?
Not at all.
So where did it begin? Did Mr. Stokey reach out to you? I've known Nick forever.
I reached out
Not
to
forever.
Nick when I first.
7 years. How old is BZW?
3-ish years.
Yeah, okay. So I knew him before
3.
BZW.
Okay.
How long have you known Nick?
I did not. I would say we talked before their first show just because I saw this thing on Facebook. They did some good advertising, like, hey, local wrestling. I'm like, oh, yeah, I really like pro wrestling.
So they had a different announcer before. You weren't always the announcer.
I was not. They had their first announcer, Paul, super good guy, super smart. And then I just kept hounding Nick, like, hey, if you're ever looking for another announcer, like kind of poking him.
So
through Facebook,
you wanted to do it. You were like, I want to be the ring guy.
More or less, yes.
Why? So that's what I want to get a hook on. So people see you, they see Nate Wright, this guy in the center of the ring, and they go, "Gosh, I want to be Nate Wright. I want to be this man." How did you make this dream come alive? Of where did it begin? Where did the first idea? You saw an ad on Facebook.
I started hanging around. Like I went to I would say like their first 4 shows. I was just like front row seats, just like into it, having a good time.
And those are affordable, like more than you would think.
Yeah, they're not bad. And they used me in like, so, okay, I'm going to pull back the curtain here for pro wrestling. Sometimes there are plants in the audience. And by plants, I don't mean like a big Monstera, beautiful plant. I mean like people that maybe appear to be fans that are working with the promotion. And I guess my first thing I did with Below Zero Wrestling, Matthias, one of our wrestlers, bad guy, easy to boo. He makes it so easy.
They're called a heel, right?
A heel.
Yeah.
It's face and heel. It's your good versus evil. It's your Jedi versus Sith. If you want to nerd out more, he poured a bottle of water on my head.
Oh my goodness!
And that helped get like a, boo. Like,
and that was because
reaction.
you were hanging out and you asked for this, or they came to you randomly?
They came to me and said like, "Hey, we need somebody to get." And
you
water
didn't know that
poured
this was like your first initiation with them, or you had been hanging out and you were kind of chatting with them before.
Prior to that, I did some work with the ring crew. Like, if you ever want to help set up the ring, we can use hands. And I just wanted to be a part of it early on. So.
Yeah.
Like a lot of situations in life, when you want to be involved in something, just show up and start doing what you can.
Yes. Okay.
That was my foot in the door.
So I'd say the very beginning of it is you just showing up and saying, "Hey, can I help?"
Yeah.
And then they know you, they know who you are, and then there's like, "Hey, can we pour water on your face?"
Yes.
And you're like, "Okay, great."
And for a while, it was like their most viewed video on TikTok or something.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, hey, all right,
very good. And then you start pinging Nick. And you say, "Hey, I liked the attention from this TikTok thing. I want more attention." Is that, or how did that go?
I'm good with the attention. I don't mind it.
Well, you're literally center stage.
Yes. Yes. But the main thing is, for the announcer, they want to bring the attention and hype up and make the wrestlers, the performers, the superstars be like the absolute.
Yeah, I suppose the job is not
deal.
to bring the attention to yourself. You're a conduit. You're a focuser.
More or less, unless there's like an interview, or I've had wrestlers like put their hands on me and just like be threatening, and then I have to like pretend I'm not 6 foot and over 230, and just kind of cower a little bit. But yeah, it's just something I enjoy doing. I'm a fan of public speaking. I've been doing it for a while. Anytime I can get that sort of performance bug, it feels good.
I 100%.
You're doing this. Here you are.
So, because I've got a family and several jobs, I can't do like late nights. So I would otherwise like probably be doing stand up, but because that's not
Wednesdays
available
and Thursdays.
Here, yeah.
It's
well,
not terribly late.
There's and
the
then
Cellar and Bosses.
Also Black Coffee and Waffles. They're doing it's more like a poetry slam / comedy stand-up thing. Previous guest of the show. Previous guest of the show.
Often.
Yeah, previous guest of the show. You should. Oh God, I'm bad at name. That's why I print off everyone's name before they. There's something I call it live brain, where I can't recall details. I think it's Rhonda Gilbertson Evans.
I know
3
that
weeks
name.
ago. Yeah,
Yes.
3 weeks ago she came on the show. Told us all about it. So. Find us on Spotify, which you've already done.
Absolutely. Go
listen to the. But great. So that's how. I mean, basically, you showed up. You let them know, here's who I am. You became ingratiated with the crew. Nick's a great guy. He made your dream come true. And now every month it seems like you guys are doing a show, and you're the man. You're the one in the center ring, being that focal point, letting the audience know, being the narrator.
Yes. I basically the narrator. Like, we don't currently have. Like, I guess you'd call them commentators.
Yeah.
Like the 2 or 3 people on the outside, like calling the action.
Oh.
So
maybe I should do that. I could be like that. I could do that, and then do that. I'd be just like Mr. Rogan, right? I'd be like, but only with Fargo instead of UFC and the world. It would just be Fargo and
you would still
BCW.
need to do some stand up if you want to go full Rogan.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's all the time for Rogan we have at this juncture.
Everywhere.
We are going to move into our first intermission, where you can tell me if you recognize the song, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about the event that you have coming up for Below Zero Wrestling, the Fargo Fun segment. So don't go nowhere.